So sex is not just a pleasure. It is a deep spiritual connection, spiritual union. Sex was designed by God, and its purpose is far beyond pleasure. You know, a lot of people see sex to be like fun, sex. I'm speaking biblical perspective, and as a child of God. So sex is far beyond pleasure. It is a spiritual and physical bond that should unite a husband and a wife. So what happens when you sleep with someone that you're not married to? You know, as it can be in some cases where you are told as a Christian brother or as a Christian sister that we have to know ourselves, or you have to know yourself by having early sex before marriage. So when you do that as a child of God, you know, you become one flesh, you know, and becoming one flesh, not in a biblical way, but because you are responding to your desire to satisfy your emotion, your body. So when you read 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 16, read it for yourself. So you become, number two, you become emotional, you know, entanglement. You entangle yourself emotionally, now opening doors for confusion, especially when you are not married to someone, doors for heartbreaks and demonic influences. You know, sex is exchange of power, spiritual power, and most people don't take this lightly. You know, sex is just beyond fun. You actually exchange connections, deeper connections, the spirit behind somebody's life or in that person. You know, number three, you know, when sex is done outside marriage, you're not married yet, it is a total sin against your own body. You know, a lot of people, you didn't say against God. It's a total sin against your own body. And because you have sinned by fornicating, you open doors for illnesses, and you open doors for attack even against your own health. And that is why a lot of people, you know, they treat on illnesses, STDs, HIV, just name it, diseases that you don't have business contacting. So if you are a brother or a sister and somebody is saying that I want to have sex with you and all that, and without that you cannot marry the person, or the person cannot marry you, that is a lie from the pit of hell. Because when you read 1 Corinthians, I wanted to read 1 Corinthians chapter 7, the whole scripture. When you get married, you have all the years on earth that you have to have fun, you know, with someone that you are married to, not someone that you are dating or somebody you are courting. So sex should be out of it completely. Because when you do so, you engage yourself with powers. You engage yourself with spirit that you have to contend with. And that is why when you end up not marrying that person, you have a lot of battles. That's what we call soul ties. When you have sex with somebody, you are actually having a soul tie with that kind of a person. And that is why breaking up in some cases becomes so difficult. Because you have soul tie with Satan, soul tie with demonic spirit. And even when the number of sex you have with someone that you're not married to is a number of spirit that you have to contend. And that is why no matter how you fast and how you pray, you cannot just keep having sexual intercourse with everyone or every human beings. Maybe before you finally getting married, you have ended up having sexual relationship with God knows how many men or how many women. So you exchange powers. So biblical advice is, If someone is proposing sex, is fornication, is a sin. God does not want it, and is a sin against your body. You inflict yourself physically and you inflict yourself spiritually. So sex is not in the package of dating, in courtship,